This video follows on from my two recent uploads, which were 5 reasons that I decided to build my own PC, and after a couple of months of experience using it, was it worth it? I'll link both of these up here and also in the description, and if you're even thinking about upgrading your creator editing platform, your PC, whatever it is that you use, these are really worth a watch, so I would encourage you to have a look at them. But for now, as I promised in those videos, I'm going to run through my choices as to why I picked the various components that I did in order to build myself a system that I would really enjoy using. So I started with a budget of £1,500. You can spend whatever you want, but that was my choice, and that meant that I needed to make some compromises on the components that I used. And given that I identified that the GPU was going to be more important to me than the CPU, I decided to make a compromise on the CPU. I chose to go with an Intel Core i7 265K CPU. And I could have gone with the i9, which would give me better performance, but the Core i7 was £280 in the UK, and the Core i9 would be £500 or maybe a little bit more in the UK. So really almost double the price, but the i7 gives pretty good performance, so I decided to go with that. Speaking of the GPU then, I really wanted to go with the NVIDIA 50 series. And the reason being that it encodes and decodes H.264 and H.265 10-bit 422, which is the codec that my Sony camera produces, and therefore it will offload the CPU and give me the best possible performance in my system. But again, I made a compromise. The 5090 would be the best performing GPU, but it's insanely expensive at over £2,000, whereas I was able to get the 5070, an overclock version from ASUS, for around £600 or £650, and that was a vast saving and fitted better with my budget. And it had the added advantage that it came with a voucher for 3 months of Adobe Creative Cloud, and since I am an Adobe user, that saves me 3 months of subscription to that service. One of the real benefits of building your own PC is that you can upgrade it over time, but it's key that you get the foundation right so that you have a platform to do that on. And for that reason, I chose the ASUS Z890 Creator Wi-Fi motherboard because it has all the features that I need. It has Thunderbolt 5, it has USB 4, it has PCIe Generation 5, it has lots of NVMe slots that I can put storage into, and it generally performs really well. So that is the foundation of my system, and it doesn't hurt that it came with a voucher for 3 months free Adobe Creator Cloud. So that gives me 6 months in total. Quite a big saving overall for my system. One of the key things about building your own system is to get a balanced set of components so that there is no individual bottleneck and no one thing that lets your system down or holds it back, but that everything contributes to the performance that you can get out of it. And so for that reason, I added onto the motherboard 32GB of Kingston Fury memory. It came as 216GB modules, which leaves me another 2 slots. I can add an extra 2 16s, making the total up to 64GB of memory if I feel that I need to. As well as that, the motherboard has lots of room for NVMe drive slots, and I added a Samsung Evo 990, which is pretty high performance, a 1TB NVMe for the system drive and a 2TB WD Black NVMe for the project drive, where you might need a little bit more space. It's good to separate those two drives to get maximum performance, and 2TB for the project drive seemed good enough to me, but it's always possible to just swap it out and update it in the future as I need to. Picking a cooling solution for the CPU is really important because keeping it cool will allow you to get maximum performance out of it. So I picked an Arctic liquid freezer cooler for that, and I added an extra fan in order to get positive air pressure inside the PC case. I added up all the wattage from all the different components and found that it came to around 630 watts. So I bought an 850 watt power supply, which gives me a little bit of headroom should I wish to change some of the components. If I want to make any major changes, I can always upgrade the power supply as well. So that's my first PC build. In practice, I'm really pleased with it. It's not just that it runs about 5 times faster than my previous systems, and if you want to learn more about the performance you get out of it, then there is the video on was it worth it. But for me, what I really appreciate is the fluidity of editing and the responsiveness on the timeline and how everything just works so much better than what I was used to previously. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them. Please leave me some comments down below. I'd look forward to hearing what you think about building a PC. What do you think of the components that I chose? Would you choose differently? I'm sure many of you have got views in this subject and I would love to hear them. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.